So let's talk about what you need to be doing to promote your business every single day, because there are certain things that you need to be focused on as an online business owner that needs to be done. And it's not or does not have anything to do with being spammy and DMing people or cold messaging or anything like that, but more about the value that you're able to build and give to the world. I started my business, or the online version of my business, or this version of my business, basically in 2016. And one thing that I've learned is that the more value that I give, the more value I get back. And it has a lot to do with me being able to really understand my message and what I want to get across and how I want to communicate to my audience and those things that I really want to share and get my audience to understand about me as well. So for me, content creation, how I'm showing up, is a really vital piece of my business, even in a time when, in the beginning, believe it or not, I did mostly ads. Like, that was my way of growing my audience. But even that time, I felt the need to create continuously, right? Because I think that sometimes people who are teaching you to run ads, it's like the promise of you don't have to do anything. But I quickly discovered, you don't have to do anything else. Just run your ads, to your thing, and attend to your clients, and that's it, right? But I think that I quickly discovered that I didn't want to build a business that didn't do anything else. I wanted to be present for my audience. I wanted to be able to create, and I wanted to be able to show up for them and show them who I was. And I wanted to really feel connected to my own message. So I want to walk you through a few of the things that you can do each week and each day, really, to promote your own business and really grow your audience. Now, in terms of how you create, it's going to come up to what works for you. And this is like a big philosophy that I have in terms of business. I think that you need to focus on the things that really work for you, period. Punto. In the sense that, there's a lot of people telling you this is what you have to do and this is the thing that works. And I think that the thing that works is going to be the thing that you're going to be consistent at, whatever that is. And you have to figure out what that looks like for you. For me personally, I tend to write content during the whole week, but it's kind of interesting. And I've talked about this in other episodes, but it's kind of interesting because what I do is I'm kind of reading during the week, paying attention, listening to podcasts, going through my own thing, talking to clients, consuming content on TikTok, and I'm getting all of this information, all these different things. And during kind of the evenings, it's kind of weird, but during the evenings when I'm laying down to sleep almost, I take out my notes app from my phone and I just start writing. And that's how I write. Like, that's how I create content. And then usually what I do is on Fridays, I sit down and I put that content in written format. Well, it is already written, but I organize all of it. I schedule out my emails for the following week and get going. But everybody works differently, right? I know people who write content every single day, like the first thing that they do in the morning or in the evenings or whatever works for you. It's about figuring out your own schedule. Obviously, the most important thing for you to be able to promote your business with a few hours given each week is that you have to have a lot of clarity in terms of your own brand message, in terms of who you are, who your audience is, what you sell, how do you get in front of these people, or more than how do you get in front of these people, like what do you want to tell these people, right? What is the type of content that's going to capture their attention? And, I do have the training at readytoinvestclients.com that walks you through how to attract more ready to invest clients, obviously, how to speak to those premium buyers, how to speak to the people who are really action takers, winners, champions that are ready to do the work and ready to move forward, right? So I think that it's really important that before you think about how you're going to create your business, you have a lot of clarity on who your audience is. So that's kind of like the pre-work phase, right? You need to understand these things. And then with that in mind, you focus on creating content. Now, how much content is going to depend on you. I think that there's a good mix between quality and quantity, right? You should be creating more than one piece of content per week, obviously, unless what you're doing is a very long YouTube video and you're growing your YouTube channel and that's your main thing. But I think that, if you're an online entrepreneur, an online coach or a consultant or an expert, I think that the world that we live in requires more than one piece of content per week, right? So you really want to think about, okay, what are the things that I want to create? How do I, how many of these things are going to be? And, I've talked about this in other episodes. You have to think about, well, what are you good at? Are you good at writing? Are you good at video? Are you good at speaking? And create based off of that. So for me, I do a good mix, right? I do these short 10-minute videos. I do my podcast interviews. I do my written content. I do short little videos that I upload to Reels and to TikTok and Facebook and, all of these different little things that I'm doing. I know that there's a lot, and I know that there seems like a lot, but it's honestly much less to produce that you would even think, surprisingly. So you want to create that content. And the most important thing is just making sure that it's highly valuable. If you create surface level content, it's going to attract surface level clients. So it's very important that you make sure that the content that you're creating is really going deeper than the common things that are in the market, because every market is saturated right now. There's competition in every field, every niche. I don't care what you do. So it's really important for you to stand out and say things in a different way. And for that, you have to create content that feels different to your people too. So that's really important. When you think about creating content, make sure that you're creating content that is deeper, that shows a little bit or speaks more to the cause of the problem that your audience has. That is educational, of course, especially if you're trying to promote and grow your business. You have to educate people and give people practical advice and tips. But I do think that it's important that you go a little bit deeper into revealing the cause of the problem. Like, for example, if you struggle with creating content, the very likely cause of that problem is you not having a lot of clarity around what is going to move your audience, right? If you don't have clarity in your message, if you don't have clarity in who your audience is and what speaks to them, that's going to make it hard for you to create content. Clearly, obviously, right? So anyways, you're going to begin with creating that content that is highly valuable. Then from there, you're going to pick your platform. Now, I believe, again, that every platform works. No platform works. Like, it's going to depend on you and what feels good to you and where you're going to be consistent at. My energy and my focus is mainly on Facebook and a little bit on TikTok. I do repurpose content through different platforms. I do add content to my Instagram. I do add my videos to YouTube. This is a thing that I'm really focused on this year and right now, is growing my YouTube channel and growing my YouTube following. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and you comment and you like and do all the things, please. But it's me repurposing a lot of content, right? So I think that it's really about you choosing where your energy goes. I post on everywhere because I use a lot of apps that allow me to repurpose content in different places, and I schedule content out. But my energy is on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube a little bit right now. So what that means is that, unsurprisingly, the results that I get come mostly from Facebook, and because that's where my energy goes, right? So you want to pick the platform that feels good for you, that you like going on and you like spending time on. But if you're like, I just don't feel this app, then don't go there. That's quite simple. So the third thing that you're going to do is, after you've created content, you've picked your platform, is repurpose your content to different formats. Now, here is, I think, where things can be simplified. And it's really about you getting smart about reusing your content, right? So you can do long form, short form, micro, you could do images, you could do carousels, you could do text, you could do email. There's so many different ways in which you can repurpose your content. The important thing is for you to actually repurpose your content and not think that you have to create something new and completely different every single time you sit down to create, because I feel like that would be very overwhelming and that would feel like, whoa, this is a lot, right? So you don't have to do it like that at all. You can really keep things simple, and it's really about you repurposing. I repurpose everything. When I do these 10-minute trainings, I also do them as Reels or TikTok videos. I do them in format. I send them through email. All of my content is basically repurposed. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not starting anything from scratch completely. Like, it's never something that I've never done before. So, it's really about simplifying. If you need to have a VA, a virtual assistant, or a social media marketing agency, or a team of people, or however you do things to build your business and repurpose your content, go for it. It's not necessary always, but it's going to depend on your levels of productivity and what feels like it's too much or too hard. There's things that I do for myself. There's things that I've hired out in the past. Currently, I actually do the repurposing on my own, believe it or not. But it's not something that is too crazy for me to do and something that is simple. So anyways, I mean, I use StreamYard to be able to transmit my videos in different places, and I take those videos and turn them into audios and add them to my podcast. So it can be really simple. So you want to just repurpose your content to different format. And I think that the most important piece of all of this is the next step of this process is the energy in which you show up. That is where people kind of drop the ball sometimes because they're like checking boxes. I did this, I did that, I did the work. Where are the people? Where's the money? Show me the money, right? And it's not how that works. You really actually have to show up in this level of energy and embodiment and belief in what you're selling more than anything else. You have to believe that what you're selling is the best thing in the whole world, and people would be silly if they didn't buy from you. Like, they're the ones that are missing out, right? So you have to show up in that energy and that level of certainty within yourself and the thing that you are promoting. So whether it's your free content or whether it's something that's going to lead or pitching something, try to sell something, it's really important for you to really show up with that level of certainty and confidence in yourself and what you're doing, right? And what you're talking about. The next step is making sure that you're sharing this everywhere and you're engaging with people. Now, if you're like, but nobody's commenting on my stuff, Fabi, what do I do? Well, then comment on other people's stuff. Build engagement for yourself by being engaging in other people's content as well. So that's something that people tend to not do, but it's really important for you to show up in every possible way. And I would say that the last thing that I would suggest for you to promote your business in a few hours a week is to leverage other people's audiences. So look to build relationships and look to find ways in which you can show up for other people. So what that means is, how can you collaborate with others, whether it's you going on somebody's podcast or being interviewed by them or doing a joint live video on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, or speaking at other people's summits or their masterminds or whatever that is so valuable and it's so powerful because it really allows you to get in front of the people that you want to get in front of, period. I mean, it's that simple. So those are some of the things that you can focus on to promote your business every single week. Hopefully that is very helpful to you. Make sure that you follow me everywhere at Fabi Paolini. Subscribe, like, comment below, because I actually want to hear what are the things that you're doing to promote your business right